Hello, friends, and welcome back to yet another episode of Coffee with Carl. Number 72, I believe. But, there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about this morning that are, we're going to get to the products a little bit later. So if you want to hear about that, then go ahead and just fast forward 25 minutes or so, because there's two things I want to talk about. I want to pose a question to you first, though. When you're on Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media platforms you use, what kind of social agreement do you think it is when somebody follows you, friends you, or whatever? To me, it's always been a bit of a combination of, do I know this person in real life? That's kind of something that's more recent, went back before I had a YouTube channel or anything like that. The people who I was friends with were people who I knew in real life. It was very rare that I would find somebody who I didn't know that wanted to be friends. And, that just didn't happen. Now, because of the channel and everything like that, I can't, and nor do I want to friend back everybody who follows me, mostly because I kind of want my feed to be curated, right? To be stuff that I like to look at. Now, that is kind of some people have a view about it like that, right? It's about the feed that they get served up, and they're curating that feed. But I think that there's also another element there which we would be kind of silly to ignore, which is the sort of para-friendship that you get, right? So if you're going to follow me and then I follow you back, it is more or less an agreement of like, hey, are we buds? And I'm saying, yeah, we're buds. And that sort of opens up, because sometimes on different platforms, you can only message somebody if you're friends with them or whatever. That sort of opens up a couple of different options. So it's a little bit of bringing you a little bit closer. And I see it a little bit as, the way I use it is, if I know somebody in real life or I respect what they're doing, I am actually, I think, loyal, a little too loyal, a little bit too supportive at times. A lot of times I will really just go to bat for somebody because I like what they're doing or I like them as a person. I know that's one of my sort of faults as far as being completely independent and not influenced by outside factors. For example, Jim Green. I'm a big fan of Jim Green. Before I met Gareth, I was a fan of them. Now that I know Gareth and I know what they're doing with conservation and poaching, I like them even more. So for me to get a product from Jim Green and be like, this thing is a piece of junk, it's hard for me to say that because I like them. I feel like we're friends. That's what I look for in brands that I work with and stuff. I guess sometimes I wear my heart on my sleeve a little bit too much and I play things a little bit too emotionally, but it's sort of the only way I know how to do things, and any other way feels like it's not being me. Okay, why is this important? And why did I bring up this in the first place? We don't really ever talk about this kind of stuff. Well, recently I've been followed by a number of people in the industry who I admire, and every time I get one of those, it's like a little feather in your cap, right? It's like, this is a sign I'm on the right path. Somebody who I admire is interested in what I'm doing. Now that is especially fun when it's somebody who's like you followed for a long time and then they followed you back and you're like, holy crap, like I don't even remember when I followed this person, right? Casey Neistat or something like that follows you and you go, damn. And it's like, number one, it's flattering to think that somebody of, that level of fame and accomplishment has like you on their radar at all. Just like, oh my God, well, if I'm reaching this person, then I must be doing something right. But it's also, again, the way I interpret it is that sort of para-friendship kind of thing, right? We're kind of friends, right? Like, this is sort of like a quasi-friendship, digital version, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes that's all we have. And again, if somebody follows me, I see that as, you go ahead and message them, right? Because they've entered into that agreement with you. And so that happened to me. I've been friends with, a few pretty, internet famous people, I guess you want to say. And then recently I started noticing, because I try to keep my followers to people who I know. You know what I'm saying? I noticed that he wasn't looking at my stuff or liking my stuff or anything like that. And I'm not sure how long it went on for. I usually don't really check back on my friends and stuff like that as far as like who's following me and who isn't. But this popped up because, again, it was somebody who I admire. And I always got a little thrill from like when I would get, a like or whatever. And I noticed that he had unfollowed me. And I'm like, oh, damn, that sucks. You know, I mean, again, in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that big of a deal. Okay. I'm healthy. My family is healthy. Things are steady. The main things are there. Okay. So I have to say that because otherwise it's like you're making such a big deal out of something that really doesn't matter. I know that. I'm talking to you about things that still, regardless of them not being very important in the grand scheme of things, bother me a little bit. And so I let it go. I didn't think about it for a while. And then it kept on bothering me. I'm like, did I do something? You know, I mean, I can't think of anything that I would have posted or, put up that he would have objected to. And so I was like, all right, this is bothering me. I got to send him a message. And he said, I don't see it this way. I just basically see it as, right now I just don't want to see that person's content. And maybe in the future I will. And I was like, well, that's it's fair. I guess we just disagree on like a definitional basis, right? It's like, no, it's not saying we're not friends. It's just, I don't want to see your stuff right now. Okay. I mean, first of all, I appreciate the honesty, but I don't know. Part of me is like, I very rarely get back the level of support that I give to somebody. And when somebody who's really, done much more than I have, it is much more popular than I am, they don't need my support. They've already made it. But anyway, it was a little bit of a blow to my ego, to be fair, and to be completely honest. That's really what it was. We had chatted a bunch, and we may continue to, and that's fine. It was just like, it bothered me a little bit. And I guess maybe in a time, I've talked to you probably about the cycle of YouTube. And now that I've been at it for 9 years, you can see clear patterns looking back. And, what happens is at the end of Christmas and then the end of New Year's and into February and stuff like that, things start to sort of go down, right? And they hit a low, usually at the end of May, June, July, right? Lowest times of the year. They start to pick up at the end of August. And then from then on, right, that's the high time. And you can see a clear graph. I mean, it is obvious. This has happened every year since I've started posting. And so, but it doesn't matter if I know that's happening. Every year that I start going on the downslide, it's like, oh, that hurts, right? You put all this effort in and you just don't get the views or whatever. And that's the metric we use as to how well we're doing. And so maybe that coinciding with this was like, oh man, it's just like, it's like the hits keep coming, that kind of thing. But doesn't matter. It's not going to stop me. It's not going to dissuade me. It's just something that I was wondering, am I alone in thinking that sometimes when you follow somebody and then they follow you back, it's a bit of a social contract. And then if they unfollow you, it feels a little strange. Am I the only person who feels that way? Again, maybe I'm putting too much heart into it, and it wouldn't be the first time. But that's how I are. All right, next thing. I'm a little concerned. I have a friend who's named Shane Smith. He runs Smith's Leather Bomb with his wife. Smith's Leather Bomb, for the longest time, has been my leather conditioner of choice. Now, to be fair, I think that it could be really good. It's not so good for other things. We can get into that another time, mostly because of the wax content. So when you put it onto your jackets, you get a lot of squeaking and stuff. But I like that for my boots because it offers a little bit of weather protection. And I love their stuff. I like their kind of family-oriented thing. And Shane's a good dude. Shane's a really good dude. Now, a while back when COVID was going on, so, figure 2022, right? Roundabout there, he got COVID bad. Like I got it bad and I was in the ICU for a week, but he was in the ICU for like 6 months. And then after, they even like put something into his throat so he could breathe. It was bad, really bad. They started a GoFundMe for him. I was following that thing like daily. Would check up, be like, dude, is he okay? Oh my God. Like, he's just a really good dude. We've connected a number of times. And again, friendship, right? Like, it's just kind of the way I view the world. So, always supported Shane and what he was doing, and I liked the product, and he was a cool guy, and I know, eventually he did beat COVID and they were back to it and posting regularly. And then, I don't know. I mean, just like I said, occasionally if I don't see somebody for a while in my feed, I'll just check in and be like, hey, what's up with them? I went to look and the Smith Leather Bomb profile said it was basically gone, right? I mean, it was still there, but it wasn't there. So there's like this echo, this shadow of where it used to be. And I think it even said like user not found. And I was like, what? So of course I sent him a text. I said, hey, Shane, what's up, man? You doing okay? And never heard anything back. So then I went out to their website. Website is still up, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot because oftentimes you pay for like the year, right? So your website can be up for a year. And as long as you keep paying the bills, everything on it will still work. You don't actively have to be there managing it. It's not like a store. The Amazon store is still up. You can still place an order. Whether that order is fulfilled, I don't know. And then I let that sit for a bit and never heard anything back. And I started asking people who I knew from the industry and I knew who were familiar with Shane. Dude, have you heard from him? Have you heard anything about Smith's Leather Bomb at all? I'm a little worried, frankly. And everybody was like, no, I really haven't heard from him. I talked to him a few months ago, but no, I haven't heard anything from him since. And so, I sent them another text and didn't hear anything. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to be, pain in the neck here. I mean, if he doesn't want to talk to me, then that's fine. But I'm a little worried just by the social media thing and kind of the silence and how nobody else has heard from him. And still haven't heard anything. I am just a little concerned. I hope he's okay. That's mostly what it is I hope he's all right. I figured that even if the business had shut down or he just decided to go another way or whatever, that he would have said, yeah, hey, the business didn't work out, but, whatever. But I didn't hear anything. And so I'm just a little concerned. I think because last time this happened, it turned out that he had COVID. And I just really hope that nothing has happened to him as far as health or anything like that. If anybody else out there has heard from him, or if Shane, if you're watching this, dude, just let me know you're all right. I mean, some of us out here are concerned about you. Finally, Rugged West Co., right? So this is actually started by somebody named Lee. She's really cool. Actually, I followed her back when I forgot what her name was. It was Rugged something, I think. Rugged something. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, I've been following her for years. She would always post these really cool leather jacket photos, and she had quite a collection going on, and she would rock them in really interesting ways, too. She lives over in Europe. I think was she in Italy for a while, or was she always in London? I can't remember, but whatever it is, it was just really cool to see. And then, she went away for a little while. Then she reappeared and rebranded as Rugged West Company and Rugged West Co., which is, Rugged West Co. kind of confusing me because I'm a simple guy like that. But I started paying attention to what she was doing, and it was very kind of, not typical patterns, I wouldn't say, but safe patterns, right? Things you've seen before. If you wanted a cafe racer or a double rider or something like that, you could get them, right? And from what I understand, her jackets were made in Pakistan. And when I was looking out on Reddit and stuff like that, people had some good things to say about them. And I was like, way to go, Lee. She started her own company. That's great. Now, I haven't really talked about them too much because, I mean, this is just a kind of a newer brand and leather jacket content isn't really my bread and butter. I like them, but anyway. But I did see this and I was like, nice. And I'm going to read the post right now. It says, I'm excited to announce that I'll be offering limited spaces for MTO, that's made to order jackets, using some of the finest leathers in the world, including horsehide and steerhide from Italy's most respected tanneries. They are integral parts of the oh boy. Okay, I'm just going to say genuine Italian vegetable tanned leather consortium because it's Italian and I don't speak Italian. An organization dedicated to preserving the heritage and quality of Tuscan vegetable tanned leather. Each jacket will be carefully made right here in London. You'll be able to choose from a hand-picked selection of world-class hides in a range of colors, weights, and finishes. And she even wrote colors with a U, which is something that they do over there. And they say that we're wrong in America, but we maybe were. I don't know. And it says here that some of the details are premium Riri zippers in nickel or brass, which is really cool. Vintage Jiffix buckles. That's a new one to me, but again, I'm not really like way up on this stuff, which is pretty cool, I guess. Custom thread color lining options, including tartan, cotton, sateen, Bemberg, or wool, which is really cool. And prices start at 1,350 euros, so a little bit more in US. That's really cool, and I'm happy to see that. I think that's a great evolution, and I would imagine that now, especially having, being made in London and having that kind of availability of the sort of leathers. Holy crap! I'm sorry, I couldn't get that out. I don't know what that was. Hopefully, should be coming out with some really cool stuff. Now we'll see. I mean, I'm suspending all judgment right now, but I'm encouraged and I'm happy. And again, I want to see my friends do well. So I am definitely hoping for the best there. It looks like it's really cool, and I will be watching with a careful eye. And who knows? I mean, if something comes up that looks really good, different, and promising, I'll order one and let you know what I think about them. I like what she's doing. She's doing some cool stuff. She doesn't seem to be doing the influencer thing, which is like sending them out to everybody with a check mark next to their name and then hoping for a review. It seems like the people who actually buy them are the ones who have them, and I appreciate that. So all the best, Lee. I hope it works. All right, let's get to the products. That's probably, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to kick the camera there, but I did anyway. And if you're listening on audio, it doesn't matter. So anyway, this is the first one I want to talk about is from Colonel Littleton. This is cool just because it's totally out there, wild, and nobody's going to buy this thing except for one person because there's only one available. So I'm like, holy crap. But I love the look of this. As soon as I saw it posted and they have it on the running board of an old Bentley here, it's just perfect. Now, I love classic cars. I have a couple myself, and I love going to shows. When I go to a lot of these shows, typically the older cars, like a lot of people with Model A's, Model T's, and stuff like that, will have custom luggage on their luggage rack, which is just like a great way to finish it off. This looks like it fits that car perfectly. This is the number 3 travel trunk in American Alligator, which is just like, of course, very, very expensive. It is $15,000. There's only one available, and it looks gorgeous. I mean, I don't know that I would even travel with this thing. I think I would just put it on a shelf and look at it. It's shockingly nice. Everything from the rivets, the choice in hardware, the design in general, I think it's just very classy. They've done a beautiful job with this. It's hard to really, I don't think I could find anybody who wouldn't just appreciate it for what it is. And that's good because, only one person is going to get this. This is not something that's everybody's going to be able to have. I mean, should I even put a link to it? I don't even know. And go ahead. And if you want to buy it for 15 grand, go and buy it. Just tell them I sent you, I guess. You know what I mean? But wow, what a piece this is. And Colonel Littleton I have a couple of their products. Their big thing is they've always been great gifts. I found that if you're ever looking for a gift for somebody, if you go over there, I guarantee you'll find something that would make a really nice gift. And a lot of things are, personalized too. Just beautiful. Really, really nice. Probably the best, among the best in the world, but I don't think I would ever actually use it. Now, Devium. Devium has been one of the companies that in the last couple of years I've been paying way more attention to because I just like what they're doing. Also, their products fit me well, and they seem to be a great, scrappy little company. I love that. So they have restocked their overdrive jacket in 2 different colors, seaweed and black, which is really cool. Now, I'd love for you to let me know, which one do you like better of these two? I know it's kind of like, I don't want to say splitting hairs, but it kind of is because I could argue on either side of this. I think I'm going to go with seaweed. I love green and I like that kind of warm lining that they went with on this, but black could be good too. Now, black wax canvas could be a little bit tricky because it attracts hair like there's no tomorrow. So if you have a cat, dog, hamster, ferret, whatever, you're going to get hair all over this thing and you're probably going to see it. So that's the one thing I would say be cautioned about. This is a premium waxed canvas with natural water resistance, of course, flannel line for all season comfort, heavy duty brass zippers, made in the USA, American made. And again, I have one. I think it's great. I wish that it had shoulder gussets, but it is sized big enough that it probably isn't that much of an issue for most people. I mean, I kind of have a broader chest and that seems to be a problem for me, but even with this one, it was like, It was okay. I mean, I would have liked gussets, but it was okay. And these two colors look great. Now, again, I think you could probably make an argument for either one, but if you were looking for an overdrive wax trucker, this might be the time to grab one, especially now before they start selling out. I think their kind of yellowish one that's the one I have. That was the one that most people bought before. But these are two great options, and in my opinion, they beat the snot out of the Flint and Tinder version of the wax, whatever they call their wax trucker. I know it was in The Last of Us. I know. But Joel's dead, and the show's ruined, and we all know that. So go get this one because it's better. White's boots. I don't talk enough about White's, mostly because they've been around for a long time, but I do like the things that they come out with for the most part. There are some things that they do I don't get it, but whatever. I'll say this too. What I appreciate about White's, which I can't say about some other companies that have initials, they don't really get into the mudslinging, which is nice. They just do what they do, and if you want it, it's available, and if you don't, that's okay. There's other options for you. I like that. They have a mature approach to the competition that's out there. Let's face it, there's a lot of Pacific Northwest companies. I like what they do. I've always appreciated Whites. Matter of fact, one of the pairs of boots that I will always have in my top 5 or whatever is my Whites Bounty Hunters. They are the Whites Bakers boots collab, which is basically, I think it's the semi-dressed last with the smoke jumper on the semi-dressed last. I have them and I love them. They're some of my favorites. Well, they've come up with something that's a little bit more affordable because, if you know Whites, you know that they're expensive. But the Millwood is a Goodyear welted option, and I like the fact that they do this because, again, not everybody needs the $700-something hand welted Whites. Some people want they want the sort of build quality and the name, but they want maybe a 360-degree Goodyear welt rather than hand-sewn, stitched-down stuff. So this is the Millwood's $360, comes in 2 different colors, and it looks just like your classic work boot. There really isn't a whole lot to comment on here. It comes with what looks like a Vibram Christie wedge. It's just, this is like when you close your eyes and you think of work boot, I bet you picture something kind of like this. Now, maybe not with a wedge, maybe something else, but it's a classic look. And, they come in 2 different widths. You can get D and you can get double E as well. So it's like, it's all there. So let's read the description, a little bit more detail about this. It says, White's Boots has been known to set the bar for comfortable, versatile work boots for over a century. The Millwood is our newest Goodyear welt construction wedge-soled boot, designed for long days on your feet. The low arch of the 1972 Arch Ease Last, paired with the Ortholite cushioned insert, provides an out-of-the-box comfort similar to that of our Perry mock toe boot. So there you go. It's a Goodyear welted, kind of like immediately comfortable boot. Now here's the deal, right? The Perry, which is a mock toe boot, but some people don't like mock toes, so you can get this with a plain toe if you want. Who's going to get this, right? In the world of Red Wings and Thorogood and Keens, I see a lot of Keens on my job sites and other brands that are out there that are in the $300 some odd range. Who's going to get this? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that it's probably a good option because, again, it's like getting a lower tier Porsche or something, right? You're still getting the R&D from the big Porsche name, and it's in a more affordable price. So I think that's probably a good thing, and I would love to see the internals of this thing and see how much synthetic they're actually using. 2 places that I really don't like synthetic are in the toe and in the heel counter, because if your foot doesn't fit that boot exactly, it's never going to get any more comfortable. Plastic does not mold to your foot. You need leather there to sort of move out of the way. I have wide feet, so I've had an issue with my pinky toe rubbing against the outside of a thermoplastic heel or a toe, and it's never going to be comfortable. So in a case like this, if they're using leather, I think that could be a great option. But I don't know, and I'd love to find out. But anyway, check out the Millwood if you want something that's a little bit more affordable, or if you're looking to get into Whites, but you're just not quite sure. So we're getting into summer. As I said before, I'm going to start really looking for things that work in the heat. And Ironheart, I know I talk about Ironheart a lot, but I think they're just still some of the best out there. A lot of people disagree with me, but I like the fact that they keep coming out with stuff. Some of them are misses. This is, I think, a hit, though. This is their 5-ounce double gauze shirt sleeve. Hang on a second. Let me try that again. 5-ounce double gauze short-sleeved work shirt in indigo. And Now, if you've never worn gauze type fabric, it's very loose, very airy. When you wear it, it's like the wind blows through it. And this could be a great choice for somebody who's looking for something that is maybe lighter weight, especially with being short sleeve. I really don't like short sleeve button-up shirts, I should say. Because if they're done wrong, you look at the dude from either from Office Space or maybe it's not a good look. It's not my look, right? It's like that Dilbert kind of look. I don't like it. But this could be really good. And I think, especially in that nice open weave kind of thing. Look, I've teased before that I might get something. I might get this. I might get that. I'm getting this. I'm getting it. I don't know what to tell you. I just need something like this in my life. I love gauze fabric. I have one from Cato brand, which is really nice, but it's a long sleeve. This being short sleeve, indigo, Ironheart. Yeah. Oh, I'm in. They already have it right here. Double XL. I'm getting it. You can't stop me. It's $325. Lot of money. You're going to say, Carl, that's too much for a shirt. I'll never buy that. Good. Because then there's one for me. Because if you buy mine, I'll be pissed. And, I don't really buy a lot of clothes that aren't for the channel. I really don't. Most of the stuff that I have, look at this shirt right here. You see how it's pilled? It's because I've had it for like 5-6 years now. I buy things, I wear them, or I buy things for the channel, I probably destroy them or I give them away. I have the stuff that I like. And someday I'm going to show you my closet because I only have about this much room in my closet, and the top is for shirts, the bottom is for pants, and that's all I got. And I keep that stocked with my favorite stuff. And sometimes that stuff isn't the highest quality, but it's the stuff that fits best and I just want to throw on. And I have room for something like this because I really don't have a lot of button-up short-sleeve shirts. And I think that they could be really versatile. So I don't have to justify myself to you. Why are you even asking these questions? You just get out of here. All right, friends, that's all I got for you this week. I'm going to be traveling, so by the time you watch this, I will be in Michigan for a few days, then I will be back for the weekend. But, hey, I hope that I make it back. Who knows? The things with flights these days and air traffic controllers and all that stuff, it's a crazy world we live in, and you're taking your life into your hands every time you step out the door, but you gotta, because that's life, and it's a calculated risk, right? So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. We're going to go to the patrons only segment right now, but for the rest of you, have a fantastic week.